what my journey was like most small businesses, we start out in the trade and we decide we want to be our own business, owner. And we're strong in the trade, we're strong in the skill, but we're not necessarily strong in the business planning and development and forecasting and budgeting and everything that goes along with actually running administratively a company. And so head down like anybody else, taking any work that comes in the front doors and doing it as fast as we can. We rarely take the time to actually sit back and say, okay, what does 3 years look like? What does 5 years look like? What does 10 years look like in terms of revenue and in terms of growth? And there comes a time in that journey where a project falls in your lap that requires bonding. You've grown to a certain level, still a small business, but you've grown to a certain level where you're catching the eye of people maybe in municipal or somebody in federal or state, and it requires some bonding, and all of a sudden you realize, I don't have any clue what bonding is about, right? And then you start inquiring about bonding, and then they start telling you about, and this is where my journey was, you need to have clean financials, you need to have good record, you need to have access to capital, you need to have a line of credit, you need to have some assets on the books, you need to have some capacity, some ability to convey that I'm responsible, company and responsible contractor. I can fund my operations, I can cover the cost of doing it, and I can complete it. I've got the systems in place to perform well. That's on top of trying to get the bond in place. Now all of a sudden you're trying to put these processes in place, these proposals in place, you're trying to put these procedures in place that you don't have any clue what they are, your team doesn't know what they are, so it becomes this very large monster very, very quickly. And I would say that, and some advice to a small is start thinking big early and start putting those plans together and putting some of those procedures in place. And a lot of it comes from engaging with a surety broker and understanding what that looks like, and the check boxes that they'll give you to get yourself prepared for bonding will actually work as a great outline for getting those procedures and processes in place, because as you grow, it's going to start snowballing, and you're going to go from 2 to 4 to 8 to 12 to 20, and it's going to happen really quick. And if those processes and procedures aren't in place, you're going to start cracking. Your processes and procedures will start buckling underneath the revenue. So for us, we did it the hard way. How did we overcome it? We did it the hard way. We double timed it and got everybody on board, and we understood what we had to do, and we had a lot of reactive process establishment and building in our company. Not the recommended way to go.
So can you talk a little bit about that journey, and how did bonding help you grow? So walk us through that story.
Yeah, so we have two sides of our company. We have a maintenance side and we have a development side. And on the development side, our goal was to continue growing and start doing more public work. We wanted to be able to work with the federal agencies, we wanted to work with municipalities, and in order to do that, you needed to show capacity. They've got more requirements to ensure that the people that they're contracting with, and even their GC, the subcontractors that the GCs are contracting with that work for them, have the capacity to do the work. They can't get into contracts and then have people not be able to finish the job, not be able to man the job, not be able to finance their portion of the work. So they force you to go through those that vetting process, and that bonding is part of it. So we had a small project with the city, one of the local cities here, and they needed work that was well within our financial capacity, but their requirements are their requirements, big and small, and anything over $150,000 required a bond. And so in order to establish that relationship and show ourselves capable on a small scale, we ended up getting a bond for $200,000, performing on it. And it was easy to get without having large history and large processes and procedures and in place and large buying capacity, but it was large enough to show that we had the capacity to administratively handle a project with a public agency. And from that point on, we were able to grow, fairly quickly.
Thank you for that. So you gave some advice already, but if you could just give one more piece of advice to other small business owners who feel stuck or discouraged in the bonding process, what would that be?
I would definitely say get a good surety broker and somebody that you can work with. What Foundation has done for me, they've been a really great partner. Peter's work history and experience is really critical and really valuable. Definitely sets him apart from a lot of other brokers in the industry. But use them to get your house in order early and get your finances cleaned up, get your consistency, as he said, get your consistency in place across your administrative board, and be ready for that in conjunction with do some forecasting. Where do you want to be in 12 months? Who do you want to be doing business with? Do you even want to get big? Because things get complicated pretty quick. And sometimes we grow a little bit too quick and we end up sucking all the fun out of work. So, sit down and ponder that question before we jump in, but have an idea where you want to go and who you want to do it with. And in that framework, work with your surety broker to put a good game plan together.
All right, thank you, Charlie.